This is 99 Nights in a Forest, and I'm gonna be spending the next 24 hours getting every single badge within a single run. To make sure I get all 35 badges on this board, I brought my friend Mr. Lasagna here to help me. But because of this one badge, I'm forced to reach 99 days within only 90 minutes. So me and Mr. Lasagna wasted no time and started our very first run. We have to immediately craft 3 beds before the next day. Each bed boosts our day counter by 1, helping us reach 99 days quicker. To craft our first 3 beds, we need to get 35 wood and 16 scrap. Only problem, scrap can only be found by expanding the map. So I chopped down some trees and used the wood to feed the fire, finally expanding our map and allowing us to look around for scrap. But as we were looking for enough resources, the fire started to run out. If it turns night while our fire is out, the deer can literally charge at us anywhere at any time. So I immediately fed the fire up, expanding our map even further and getting us our first ever badge. But we still didn't have enough resources for all 3 beds. So I started exploring the map for some scrap, and I even managed to find myself a revolver. But it's night already, and still, all this scrap I've collected only got us 2 beds. We're literally missing 2 wood logs. Luckily, Mr. Lasagna is already on it, and we managed to craft 3 beds before the first day ended, jumping all the way from day 1 to day 5. But these first 99 days are about to get way harder, mainly because of 3 rules imposed by these 3 badges. Vegetarian, which stops us from eating meat for the first 99 days. Durability, which means I'm not allowed to die at all. Even if I'm revived, we still lose an entire run. And the hardest one of them all, self-preservation, which prevents me from saving any of the missing children, who allow me to skip even more days alongside the beds. Even if I got another bed, that still won't be enough to beat the first 99 days within 90 minutes. There's only one way we could beat this challenge in time, using this clock-shaped machine. But it is not cheap, not at all. We have to get the rarest item in the entire game, the Gem of the Forest, twice. Each gem is built off of 4 fragments, and finding even one of these fragments is extremely difficult, and we have to find 8. Luckily, there are 3 places we can find these fragments from. The first one is the cultist stronghold, but there is no way I can beat the stronghold, let alone explore the map without my hunger going down and risking my life. I have to find a way to never run out of food, ever. Fortunately, we already had a lot of trees planted, enough scrap to craft a crackpot, and a few farm plots. I also managed to get us enough fuel to level up our fire, getting us the fire making 2 badge. But while Mr. Lasagna was cooking up some stews, a tiny piece of meat slipped into the crockpot, and of course, unaware of the faulty stew, I ate it, failing the vegetarian badge. What makes this even worse is that I only got to learn about that after the 99 days had already passed, wasting us over an hour and a half. So we immediately started another run, and this time we made sure there was no meat around the crockpot. But we still didn't have much food for the stronghold, which opens in 5 minutes. Not to mention, Mr. Lasagna's gear is still very weak, so we had to expand the map even further to look for rarer items before the stronghold opens. So I kept looking for fuel to level up the fire, and after quite a while, I managed to level up the fire and get the fire making 3 badge. With just 2 minutes left for the stronghold, all I had to do was start heading my way towards it. But just as I was about to prepare some food for the stronghold, some cultists started attacking our base. Immediately, me and Mr. Lasagna started defending against them, and after quite a while, we managed to beat them, earning us the combat badge. Now I could finally head to the stronghold, but due to the cultists' attack, I didn't have any food. Still, I couldn't waste any time. The stronghold is literally about to open any second. So I headed to the stronghold to start clearing out the cultists. The stronghold has 3 floors all guarded by waves of cultists for us to clear. But despite clearing the first floor, my hunger was way too low and I immediately had to get some food. Otherwise, I'd end up dead, failing this run. Luckily, as I was clearing the second floor, Mr. Lasagna made it just in time and dropped 2 stews for me to eat. I continued clearing out the second floor, and shortly after, I managed to clear out the third floor too, getting us our first 2 gem fragments, the infiltration badge, and a ruby chest, which is the second place where you can find gem fragments from. But each time you clear the stronghold, it locks itself up and resets after 20 minutes, leading us to the third and last place you can find gem fragments from, the Ice Temple. Only problem, you can't explore the snow biome without any warm clothes. I would otherwise end up frozen. So I decided to craft the Arctic Fox hat, which requires 3 Arctic Fox pelts. I headed to the snow biome and immediately got frozen. Luckily, I found a few Arctic foxes in the distance and got myself a pelt, but I barely had any ammo. Then, out of nowhere... What? What? You can't make this up. It's impossible. You genuinely can't. Apparently, the polar bear was hiding this entire time in this tree, wasting us an entire hour. We couldn't afford to waste any more time, so me and Mr. Lasagna spent the next 30 minutes speedrunning our way back, and I even got lucky enough to find myself a gem fragment. But still, I couldn't let something like that happen ever again. So before heading back to the snow biome, we crafted ourselves an ammo crate so we'd never run out of ammo. But I still didn't have any warm clothes to be able to head to the ice temple and get the gem fragments. So I spent the entire night looking for 3 Arctic Fox pelts. That's 1. Oh, that's 2, and there's 3. We also managed to hit day 30, getting us another badge. Anyways, I headed to the warm clothing shop and crafted the Arctic Fox hat. I immediately went to the ice temple and there they were, 3 frozen gem fragments. But then I realized... You ever beat the ice temple with an old axe before? Only one way to find out. My hands, they hurt. Trying to crack open the gems with an old axe was definitely not the smartest thing to do. As soon as the first layer of ice broke, all of the cultists trapped within the ice broke free and immediately targeted me. So I quickly rushed back to a nearby building with some heating so I could run freely again. Now that I'm all warmed up, I can finally kill them easily. And so I started killing them one by one until all that was left was the last layer of ice, which I obviously had to break. But this axe is so slow. While I was breaking the ice, it turned night and the owl literally spawned on me, forcing me to stand still for it not to attack me. I'm already frozen. If this thing decides to attack me, it's literally over. To make matters worse, it started spawning wolves on me, which forced me to move. Luckily, it didn't take much time for the next day to come after breaking the ice, getting us 3 more gem fragments. And it turns out Mr. Lasagna had found another ruby chest, getting us another gem of the forest. We literally needed only 1 more fragment for the temporal accelerator. Luckily, the stronghold is about to open again, so I upgraded our crafting bench, earning us the crafting badge, and cooked up some stews until I was finally ready to head to the stronghold. I have to beat this stronghold as fast as I possibly can. The faster I can get the temporal accelerator, the more likely we are to beat the first 99 days. So I immediately started clearing out wave after wave. Only problem, every time you reset the stronghold, the cultists become stronger and stronger. Luckily, unlike last time, I was ready this time. I'm way too low. Fortunately, I did manage to clear out all of the waves and got myself 2 gem fragments and the best weapon in the entire game. Now that we got all the gem fragments, I had to rush back to our base and immediately build the temporal accelerator. Right away, I upgraded our crafting bench and crafted the temporal accelerator. All that was left was to activate it. Every time we'd activate it, it would skip a night for us, starting the next day, and it would save a minute and a half. But every skip costs a cultist gem, and we didn't really have too many of those. Not to mention, we still have 21 badges left to complete, alongside these 3 secret badges given to us by the best 99 nights YouTuber. And they're not gonna be easy at all. But since we also needed some cultist gems for the temporal accelerator, we decided that me and Mr. Lasagna would split our tasks and he would focus on getting the gems while I focused on our next badge, the gardening badge, which required me to buy some seeds from the fairy which you could buy through flowers. So I started looking for flowers around the entire map, and after collecting about 20 flowers, I went to the fairy to buy some seeds and get the badge. But turns out Mr. Lasagna bought some seeds before me, raising the price all the way to 40 flowers. I searched for some more flowers, and after quite a while, I finally got it. Which brings us to our next badge, the hunting badge, which requires us to finish all of our trades with the pelt trader. Fortunately, I only had to get a bear pelt since we already have the rest of the pelts. But I barely had any ammo. Not to mention, we didn't really have much scrap either. I couldn't buy that much rifle ammo, but I had to make do with what I had available. Worst part, I'm forced to rely solely on whether or not I'm lucky enough for the animals to drop their pelts after I kill them. Speaking of luck, The first bear I killed literally dropped its pelt. All that was left to do was wait for the pelt trader to arrive, and shortly after, it did, getting us the hunting badge and this strong axe. But as I was getting the hunting badge, Mr. Lasagna was being chased by bears, cultists, and alpha wolves too. Trying to escape them, he fell into a trap and got killed by the wolves chasing him. Luckily, I had a few bandages on me, allowing me to revive him. All I had to do was get to him, and after a while, I managed to find him. So I picked him up, got him all the way back to the base, and revived him, saving my friend and earning me another 2 badges. But we're officially 70 days into this challenge and we're continuously running out of cultist gems to skip nights with. What makes this even worse is that we're literally on a time crunch. If we don't manage to get at least 3 more cultist gems, all this might go to nothing. There are 3 methods you can get cultist gems from. The first one is through cultist raids, and coincidentally so, we should be getting attacked tonight. Me and Mr. Lasagna immediately started heading back to our base, and as soon as it got dark, we started fighting the cultists. Luckily, we've progressed far enough to be able to beat them easily, getting us the first of 3 cultist gems. But although we had endgame loot, we overestimated our abilities, because the 2 last ways of getting cultist gems are by beating the stronghold and by getting lucky finding one exploring the map. We thought, since we're in a time crunch, it would be a good idea to split up and focus on both at the same time. Mr. Lasagna would focus on the stronghold and I'd focus on exploring the map. But we were so stressed that we've forgotten one key problem. Each time you beat and reset the stronghold, the difficulty increases. It was already too late though. We both headed our ways, and while Mr. Lasagna was beating his way through the stronghold, I found this church which I haven't explored yet. Immediately I started clearing out the cultists inside, one by one. But then, without even realizing, the last cultist had dropped the cultist gem. At first, I was way too focused on the golden chest, so much so I didn't notice it. Luckily, while I was exiting the church, I saw it lying next to the cultist, getting us our second cultist gem. But then, Mr. Lasagna Man told me that a juggernaut had spawned on him, and that's when the realization dawned on me. This entire time, Mr. Lasagna has been fighting way stronger cultists all by himself. I immediately rushed towards the stronghold to help him out, especially since I had the best weapon in the game. And as soon as I got there, we both started clearing out wave after wave like our life depended on it. So much so, I almost died clearing out the cultists. But by a miracle, I managed to survive and beat the stronghold alongside Mr. Lasagna in time, getting us our 3rd and last cultist gem. All that was left was to skip and wait. If we wanted to beat all of these badges, we had to make it now. This run had to be the run. And luckily, we managed to beat the first 99 days with only 4 minutes left to the 90-minute timer, earning us all of these badges all at once. But unfortunately, this challenge is far from over and is about to get extremely more difficult. Suddenly, out of nowhere...
Yo, dude, good job of beating the first 99 days, but we're just getting started. I got 3 more insane badges for you to beat. Number 1, fortification. You have to build the biggest and safest base you possibly can. Number 2, survive 1,000, yes, 1,000 days. And the hardest one of them all, deforestation, where you have to cut down the entire forest, every single tree. Good luck, you'll need it.
That's literally insane. I honestly have no idea how we're supposed to beat the rest of the badges, let alone cut down thousands of trees within just 19 hours. We couldn't waste any more time, since we had to find a way to get the 1000 days badge as fast as we possibly could. Luckily, now that we're past the first 99 days, we can finally rescue the missing children. So I immediately started clearing out every child's cave, and shortly after, I managed to save all 4 of them, boosting our day multipliers up to 9. But saving the missing children isn't enough to help reach 1000 days. We also have to immediately focus on the fortification badge by strengthening the base against cultists. So Mr. Lasagna immediately started chopping down trees and building up walls around the campfire. But walls alone weren't gonna be enough to defend the base from cultists. We had to find a way to have them killed while they're trying to get into the base. So we started setting up barbed wires on every entrance. That way the cultists wouldn't even get a chance to get into the base. but we still had 10 more badges to beat, and I had to beat them quickly. We literally had no idea how long cutting down the entire forest was gonna take, so I let Mr. Lasagna focus on fortifying the base while I focused on beating the rest of the badges so we could later focus on deforestation. And the first badge that came to mind was the humiliation badge, which only required me to die by a bear trap. With that done, we can finally jump straight into the new events badges. The fishing event, which at first seemed kind of easy and I assumed I'd be able to finish them relatively quickly, but I was completely wrong. We got 4 event badges to complete, first one being baiting, which requires us to get the max upgrade to our fishing rod. So I picked up an old rod from the fishing shack and started fishing. For every fish I'd catch, I'd get a set amount of XP. Luckily, after quite a while, I managed to upgrade my rod to its max level and I was finally ready to start working towards my next badge, the trophy fishing badge, which requires us to catch every single fish on this board. I have to fish in 2 separate places to catch every fish here, and the first one is actually in the snow biome. I headed to a small cabin with a fishing hole in the middle and started looking for a char and an eel. Fortunately, those 2 didn't take that much time to fish, leaving us with the last 3 fish and a boot, but they're not easy to catch. Not at all. To make matters worse, you can only fish them out at the furthest point in the map. So I set up a teleporter connecting the base to the farthest pond and started fishing for the clownfish, jellyfish, boots, and the rarest fish in the entire game, the shark. Meanwhile I was fishing, Mr. Lasagna had fully fortified the base and even managed to stop a couple raids with it, earning us our first secret badge. Now that I caught about 8 different fish, we are finally 1 fish away from completing the trophy fishing badge. All I had to do was catch a clownfish. Fortunately, after quite a while... Clownfish! Let's go! I managed to get the trophy fishing badge, which leaves us with the last 2 event badges. Fishing, which requires me to catch 100 fish, and the hardest one of them all, deep sea fishing, which requires me to catch 30 sharks. And trust me, this took way longer than it should have. So much so, we managed to get to day 250 and get the fishing badge before getting the deep sea fishing badge. I've been fishing here for 4 freaking hours. Not to mention, I've already gotten past day 500, beating every badge in the game besides this stupid event badge. Luckily, after 4 miserable hours, I finally got it, leaving us with only 2 more badges, and they also happen to be the hardest. Reaching day 1000 and cutting down every single tree in the entire map. Me and Mr. Lasagna immediately rushed to the forest and started cutting as many trees as we possibly could. It's not like we had that much time. But then, the worst thing that could have ever happened, happened. Mr. Lasagna lost connection and couldn't rejoin, leaving me with this entire map full of trees to cut down all alone. I couldn't give up. I had to beat this challenge. So I started cutting down every tree one by one, and after hours of nothing but chopping down trees, I finally made it, beating both Survive 1000 Days and the Deforestation badge. There was only one last thing left to do.
Is that every single badge in the game?
Every single badge in the game besides...
Everything.
Yeah, besides the 5-team one.
Did you explore the entire map too? Oh, you explored the entire map and deforested it, bro. This is just maniac. Nah, I'm taking a screenshot of this, dude.
We've been doing this for almost 2200 days. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Peace.